Objective 3, percent applications. Example. Mackenzie has 9% of her earnings automatically deposited into her savings account. This way, she puts $270 into her savings account each month. Well, what's her monthly earnings? Let's use the percent equation for this problem. We should reword the problem to make it sound like part is percent of whole. Mackenzie's savings are 9% of her earnings. So savings are 9% of earnings. The savings was the $270. So 270 equals 9% of earnings. Our unknown is her earnings. We'll call that X. 270 equals 9% times X. As a decimal, 9% is 0.09. Be sure to move the decimal place twice. 270 equals 0.09x. To solve, we divide both sides by 0.09. And when we divide, we get 3,000. So Mackenzie makes $3,000 per month. Ethan had budgeted $320 for textbooks, but he ended up spending $375. The amount that he spent was what percent of his budget? Round your answer to the nearest tenth of a percent. Again, let's use the percent equation. Let's reword the sentences. The amount that he spent was what percent of the budgeted amount? $375 is what he spent. The percent is our unknown. We'll call that X. And he had budgeted $320. So 375 equals 320 times X. Solve the equation. Divide both sides by 320. And we get approximately 1.171875. We need to round our answer to the nearest tenth of a percent, but don't round yet. Change this to a percent first. So 1.171875 as a percent would be 117.1875%. I move the decimal place to the right twice. Now, we want to round to the nearest tenth of a percent. Tenth of a percent. Well, the tenths place is where this 1 is. So we look next door to the 8. Is that a 5 or greater? Yes. Therefore, the 1 becomes a 2. So we round it up to 117.2%. Ethan spent 117.2% of what he had budgeted. Owen earned a score of 85% on his test. There were 80 problems on the test. How many did he get correct? For this problem, we'll use the percent proportion. It doesn't matter. I just wanted to show both methods. Let's rewrite it. The number he got correct was 85% of the total number of problems on the test. So the number correct was 85% of 80. Part is the unknown, that's our X. Percent is 85, and the whole is 80. So X over 80 equals 85 over 100. Now we solve it. Cross multiply, 100x equals 6,800. Divide both sides by 100. 6,800 divided by 100 is 68. So Owen did 68 problems correctly on the test. A food label indicates one serving of cereal contains 250 calories, of which 90 calories are provided by fat. What percent fat does the food source contain? This is a little confusing since the word of appears twice, and neither time does it mean multiply with the whole coming after it. Let's sort this out. 90 is the fat calories, 250 is the total calories, so 250 is the whole and 90 is the part. Percent's the unknown. We'll call that x. In our percent proportion, 90 over 250 equals x over 100. Now we solve. Cross multiply. 9,000 equals 250x. Divide both sides by 250, so x is 36. The cereal is 36% fat. A food label indicates that each serving will have 80 grams of carbohydrates. That translates into 320 food calories or kilocalories. If there are a total of 608 kilocalories in each serving, what percent is carbohydrates? Wait a minute. 80 grams, 320 kilocalories, 608 kilocalories. We've got an extra number. But 80 grams translates into 320 kilocalories. So we don't use the 80 number. We're comparing 320 kilocalories of carbohydrates to 608 kilocalories. That's the total. Let's rewrite it. Kilocalories of carbohydrates equals what percent of total kilocalories? As an equation, that would be 320 equals x times 608. 320 equals 608x. Divide both sides by 608 to solve, and we get 0.525. We want to change that to a percent, so we move the decimal place to the right twice. So as a percent, that's 52.5%. Therefore, the food is 52.5% carbohydrates.